Hamzamo family, welcome to the Black Car Network Expression right here on the Black Car Network. We trust that everyone is doing fantastic. Today being on a Friday, the date is the 10th of July, the year 2020. My name is Faith, alongside my host coming.
Of course, Jambo familia na karibu sana. This is the, of course, the Express show on Black Car Network, and of course, we really do get to appreciate everyone who will be joining us and everyone who will be listening to us, because we do have, of course, like we always say, some new fresh vibes coming all the way from Africa. So of course, keep the dial that is a
Don't
black
touch
with
that
fire.
dial.
Don't
Yeah,
touch
don't,
that
don't,
dial.
don't touch that
Exactly.
dial.
Keep it the black with fire.
And of course, I want to appreciate everyone and say Kadibu. And of course, today we shall be discussing matters of entertainment. On Fridays, we just want to take it a little bit easy, not discussing about politics, not discussing all these other things. On Fridays, we just want to take it easy and discuss some matters to do with entertainment. But before then, of course, I just want to share with us what we do call the Swahili word for the day. And of course, the Swahili word for the day is kipepeo. And if you want to know what a kipepeo is, kipepeo simply means butterfly. And of course, that is our Swahili word for the day. And remember, you can get to check out our Swahili lessons on the Black Car Network Saturdays and Sundays. And also, we do have the archives of previous Swahili classes that you have, of course, undertaken. And you can find them on Spreaker. Simply head over to Spreaker.com, then search for Black Car Network, and it will simply pop up, and you will be able to see what has been happening with our classes for the weekend. We also do have a Swahili note, Swahili guidebook. If you would like to buy the Swahili guidebook, remember you can simply head over to Lulu Books, lulubooks.com, and simply look for Mwanzo. That is a Mwanzo Swahili guidebook. Over this particular period, when you do have people being not so busy, and of course, some people are still in quarantine. You have a great opportunity to learn a new language. People might be wondering, what have you done this year? Some people might just want to, brag about learning new languages. And perhaps you would simply be able to do so by heading over to lulu.com. Actually, let me just share with us the link. It's lulu.com, and this is lulubooks, lulubooks.com, lulu.com, sorry, it's lulu.com, and you will be able to find the Swahili book. I'm just trying to look it up and share the link with you. Remember, today being on a Friday, of course, we get to tell you about new music and what's popping in the entertainment industry. There are a couple of people who have released some new music, some of them locally and others international. And we shall be telling you about what the lady Janet Jackson has been doing. She recently dropped a song which is called No Sleep. And some people might be wondering whether Janet Jackson still has it. Yes, she still has it. And of course, it's very, very easy for you to wake up. If you've done a Jackson fan, then for that particular song might actually please your heart. It might actually serenade you. And of course, this is the link for the book. If you would love to get that particular book, it goes only for $8. If you would simply like to buy yourself that particular Swahili guidebook, it's very, very important that you find a guidebook that you can use that will simply help you, understand and learn the language easily. Now, let's move on from Swahili. Sometimes over the week we were talking about other different languages. For example, South African languages that Kami was talking about, the Kami African dialect. For example, the Zulu. The Zulu, yeah, the Zulu, Zulu.
It's Zulu. It's called
It's called Zulu.
Exactly.
And we do have some wonderful other African languages. If Swahili is not your language, you might also maybe decide to really choose Zulu.
Yeah, it's Zulu.
And we also do have the Shona language. If someone is in South Africa and they're not speaking to you in Zulu, they might as well be speaking the Shona language to you. And this is also the language spoken in Botswana. Now, the last day we have a wonderful show lined up for you, and I would like to say Karibu Sana. Karibu simply means welcome. We will welcome you to our afternoon show right here. Remember, you can get interactive with us. You can also drop us different, you can drop us a line on the email, spikes at black.planet.com, or you can also head over to Instagram, Black Hot Fire Network, and also on Twitter, Black Hot Fire. You might also find us even on Facebook as well, Black Hot Fire Network radio station. And I'd like to say we are so glad that you have taken the time to join us on the show as we discuss different entertainment matters. And of course, our focus for today shall be Nigeria. And of course, what is happening in Nigeria, there has been the Riverwood. It's called not the Riverwood, but the Nollywood. It's called the Nollywood. It's called the Nollywood. Yeah, the Nollywood. And of course, I was confusing it with the Kenyan industry. The Kenyan industry is actually called the Riverwood. But Nollywood, of course, is Nigeria's film industry or the film industry. And you can compare it to the likes of Hollywood. I think they took the word from Hollywood.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, we shall be discussing about that right after we jump to some music here. We do have some music by Ricardo.
But now you be the one I be you for. Baby girl, you be there. How come you believe me? You're the one in a million. Baby, chop on my million. See, like you be the Maya, Maya, Maya. Now, baby, you get fire, fire, fire. You are baby, Maya, Maya, Maya. She said, yeah, 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 yeah. Go, 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 shawty. There is a birthday, go, 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 shawty. You know it's a birthday, go, 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 shawty. Yeah, it's a birthday, go, 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 shawty. You know it's a birthday, dance to the beat, the first street. I feel you first street. You will have to work out your money. Baby, I'm a little dance to the beat, the first street. Like you know you concentrate. You will have to work out your money. See, la vie, my out, my out, my out. I didn't get it, my out, my out, my out. You are baby, my love, my love, my love. She said, yeah, 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 yeah. You know it's a, you know it's a,
All right.
on that reality. Each and every time you are here with me, the touch, me with your hands. You caress my skin, your command. Hypnotize me with your eyes. Took me some time, I realize it's you. So where I belong.
Welcome back to the extra show right here on the Black with Planet. So today being a wonderful Friday, we are just by being talking about entertainment on the African continent and getting to updates on what is happening in Nigeria as well as South Africa and other different states. And of course, I would like to appreciate everyone who was taking the time to join us right here on the show. And remember, you can get interactive with us and let us know what you all up to this particular Friday morning. And it's actually 10 minutes past 3 p.m. in Nairobi. But I would love to know what you think from and what you are up to this particular morning or whatever time it might be on your, whatever you are at. Like I said, my name is Bright, and you can get interactive with us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It's very, very easy for you to get a hold of us. And don't you forget to head over to the website also. We have an easy to navigate website, and you can simply get to find the archives of the videos that you have been, some of the shows that you have been doing on the videos tab on the Black Square Network. And you can also head over and to your Google Play Store and look for the Black Square Network radio app. It's a very, very easy to use app, and of course, you can be jamming some of the best music as you continue, as you move along your day and conduct different businesses on your day. You can be able to maybe perhaps listen to music on the go or enjoy some of the podcasts that we have been making for you. We also do have interesting blogs. We also do have interesting blogs. And in case you're wondering what we do have for you on the blog, make sure to head over to the website www.blackaustralianet.com. Earlier on, I was sharing with us the Swahili word for the day. I said kipepeo, and I just happened to stumble across this particular other one, which is chakula, which simply means food. And, everyone I know one can actually do without food. And if you want to know start us off, sorry about the heat, since to start us off, we do have some updates coming from Ivory Coast as well as Sudan. These are just some highlights or the headlines that have been some of the headlines that have reached the studio. And it is in regards to Sudan. Sudan have done a reshuffle of their cabinet, and the government here, of course, people have been protesting, talking about political reforms. And what has been seen is that people are now demanding for faster pace of reforms in Sudan. And of course, what has been happening is that there has been a cabinet reshuffle, and of course, the Minister for Finance, Foreign Affairs Minister, the Energy Minister, of course, being replaced in Sudan. And I think this is just a move by the president right there, simply to sort of show that he has the political, he has the goodwill really to cause some change in this particular country. Of course, he's the prime minister. He goes by the name Abdallah Hamdok. And Abdallah Hamdok was in a recent Abdallah, let me just call him Abdallah Hamdok. He has decided really to do a government reshuffle to make sure that he sort of signals the things of matters in his country. I think these might stop the people from protesting in the street. Maybe they might see some move of the government that maybe this might be correct. He might actually be moving towards change as the prime minister. Of course, people want to see no different. The things that they want fighting for, that is what they want to. They want to see development. They want to see employment. They want to see peace and political stability. They want to see all these kinds of things that they want fighting for. That is what they want to see. And now the government has decided, or the prime minister, has decided to reshuffle the government and bring about a little bit of change. Talking about the prime minister, we also do have Ivory Coast. In Ivory Coast, the prime minister recently died. Of course, he was abroad getting medical treatment, but he recently passed away. And the government in Ivory Coast has declared some couple of days of mourning. And of course, I was saying earlier, when you do have these ministers going outside the country to receive medical health care, you find that they would have perhaps invested in their own country and maybe enabled them even to receive health care medical care in their own country instead of having to go to these other countries, go to the UK, go to France, go to Germany, go to all these different European countries to get their treatment, simply because they have not invested in their own medical health care systems. But they have been mourning the demise of the prime minister. Now, of course, they have been saying that now the government, the ruling party, might actually make the incumbent president, his name is Ouattara, Alassane Ouattara. They are saying that they will now have him perhaps vie for another term. And I do see the things for every report that will not going on because this particular president has not been known to be visionary. He has not been known to be bringing a radical changes in his country. And of course, there has been a couple of days for mourning, and we will see what happens if he is appointed or if he is nominated to become the contestant in the upcoming elections. And we shall be keeping tabs on that particular story. Moving on from that, coming also has another interesting story.
Let me just contribute to that is in regards to Sudan's situation, regards to Hamdok. Okay, I can say that it is a good move that he has done. That during all those time that Hamdok's vehicle was almost, it was almost that is a bomb and something like that. I think he survived a bomb attack and so on. So which means that to some people he is a threat to them because he's trying to deliver the people of Sudan and so on. But then again, I can say that the people of Sudan, they do have a right to go out there in the street to protest and demand for a new day. So I believe that Hamdok is a threat to a majority of these leaders who are against that, who are against change, to these puppet leaders and so on. For example, we talked about Ivory Coast. Seems like also the people of Ivory Coast are going to stay like that for quite some time without change. And talking about even advocating for new leaders, let me take a little bit to Mali. We did have President, of course, Lazarus Chakwera being, of course, announced as the new president of Malawi. We did even get to see how people were, dancing to their ways to the ballot and so on because they were advocating for a new change. But why is it that many times you get to see that many Africans out here, they get to dance, they get to, even offer sacrifices and so on, just seeking for a new leader. And when this new leader has come, because the expectations of the people are so high, they expect him, to fight some certain vices in their country. vices like corruption, vices like embezzlement of funds, vices like the leaders not delivering and so on. But you get to see that even if someone else is being elected, they continue without vice. For example, today all eyes are on Chakwera, and as we are talking, the people of Malawi are not having it, and that is why the 10th of July 2020, this I believe it is today,
Yeah.
the 10th of July, there is, of course, awareness that is spreading all over Malawi because they want people to take it out on the streets and, of course, to ask for a new dawn, to ask for a change in their government because the person they elected isn't delivering what he was expected of him. You know, Chakura went ahead, in making his cabinet. That is 3 days, in making his cabinet. And he ensured that 70% of the cabinets are his friends, relatives, and so on. We even have top prominent, jobs, top prominent, that is, top prominent, of course, seats in the government, of course, are being given to almost 7 of his family members. Crazy. What will happen whenever you get to see that your family member has embezzled funds, you won't get to arrest them. Instead, you just, tunasema kucheza chini, utacheza chini,
Yeah.
aendelee na tabia yake. That
You
is
just look
basically
the other way.
exactly
Yeah.
just look the other way like you didn't see something happening. And this goes hand in hand where they say that when your homie is cheating on his girlfriend, you just look the other way like you didn't see him do nothing. And that is basically what Chakura is doing for the people. But like we have it, this is this in this era, people I think have had enough of it, and the people of Malawi they are taking it to the street, but they need a fair government. This norm whereby even in Kenya, you get to see that whenever a leader is prominent or has connections and they come to power, the first thing they'll do is ensure that they get to put their friends, of course, to work alongside them. And that's why we do have a lot of cases regarding fraud, regarding corruption, being the topic of the day. But then again, this doesn't, get to be looked into just because this is a friend of the president. That is the update from Malawi. And moving away from Malawi, let me just talk about one entertainment issue. Earlier on my show, I have talked about the use of Instagram, the way that now Instagram has been used for cloud. We get to see maybe a celebrity will come post, maybe they're broken up with their spouse and so on, only for you to realize that it is a new song, coming that is being launched and so on. This is not the first time. And I've also seen, okay, Instagram has been uploaded for both the positive and the negative. This is very much common in many, that is, the social media platforms. So I stumbled across Wema Sepetu. Wema Sepetu is a very renowned, of course, a Tanzanian actress.
Yeah.
From time to time, she has been arrested because, she in Tanzania, you're not allowed to, post videos of yourself and maybe expose some all whoever you're with, kissing and all that, because that is
Indecent exposure, I think.
exactly.
Yeah.
That is basically what you're not supposed to do. But in other countries like Kenya, people go ahead and do whatever they
You
want.
can. In Kenya is
Exactly.
Kenya is different.
Exactly. So, Sepetu has been on the limelight since she started dating Diamond Platinum back then, because when Diamond Platinum
Was she a model?
yes, she was a model. She was
Okay.
a model. That is how she came, of course, to
On
the
the
limelight.
limelight.
Exactly, she was a model. And I don't understand as to why. Several years, because they broke up in the year 2014. Several years down the line is when Sepetu is speaking out. That is, I think, today or yesterday. She spoke about Diamond Platinum's, he was continually abusing her, beating her from time to time whenever he could get to see, any text messages.
How many years later?
I think it's even, is it 6 years later, something like that, 6 years
Yeah.
later, because they've been dating for so long. They broke up in 2018, but they've been dating for so long, even before Diamond was a big name. And so those years, after all those years later, it could be more or less, but I think
Maybe
it's more
about,
because
it might be more.
Diamond
It
has
might
been
be
from
more.
one lady to another, so you even don't know whether it's, and they keep on communicating.
Yeah.
So she went ahead and said that Diamond has been abusing her, and she decided to stay in that relationship because she loves him.
Did she have kids? Did she have
No,
kids?
she doesn't
then,
have any kids.
Yeah.
And there was a time that even it got to the attention of her family members that they came forward, they wanted to have her. You can't just be there and sitting and you think that there is this one guy hitting up a sister, you have to go there and defend them. And she told the
That might be
brothers.
a false story, but just
No. This isn't a false
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
She went ahead and of course defended her boyfriend then Diamond that she is happy because anytime he gets to hit her up, he goes ahead. That is the next day, spoils her and so on, comforts her. And the reasons why I'm talking about Wema Sepetu is because we do have a lot of these cases in the country, not only affecting our celebrities, but the issue with the domestic violence in that Some choose to stay in that relationship because they love the person and because maybe of the surprise gift that they are given. There was one lady who was saying that there was even a point the boyfriend bought her a car just because he had severally beaten her. And my question is, why would you, just subject yourself because you love the fact that this person is going to spoil you the next day, or this person is going, to make you feel like a princess the next day? There's this thing that says that uh, we used to think that monsters are under our bed, but the sad reality is the monsters are the people who sleep beside us, of course, near our bed. Of course, the story about Wema Sepetu, like you said, it could be true or it could be some publicity PR, but I don't understand as to why she would go against them because they have been, friends even after their breakups and so on. I don't know how you feel about that, but then again, this is not the first case. My aim here is all about the domestic violence. It's not only towards ladies, because we also do have men who are beaten in their relationship, but they get to maintain them because maybe the wife will do this and this for them. And also the issue, with men, it's quite different because you can't go out there and saying my wife is beating me. The society would actually turn out laughing out at you, and that's why you have a lot of men stuck in this violent relationship.
I think there have been rising cases of domestic violence, but of course, I'm not for anyone getting involved significantly and so to speak, simply because he or she is in a relationship with whomever. But when it comes to celebrities and all these different people, I think there is a lot of focus that goes into them, and some of them, like Diamond, has been dating so many people. And when it comes to think of it, maybe even the others might come and say, oh, he has anger issues or he's also violent and stuff like that.
Oh, this is the first time we are hearing.
Yeah,
I haven't had it with the
yeah,
ex, that is
yeah,
Zari. I
yeah,
haven't had it with the late, that is Tanasha Donna. But then again,
yeah.
they say that ukweli inajitokeza mara ya mwisho. That is what they say out here.
Yeah, that is a common saying. And of course, moving on from that, we go on to some other different stories. And I think that has to do with the upcoming elections in Uganda. You might be wondering what is happening in Uganda. In Uganda, the age is free to have to go to the polls in 2021. And now, of course, there have been many journalists being arrested, and now, of course, the security force is being used to threaten or even to crack down on sounds or voices of dissent. And of course, if you're a journalist in Uganda and speak, bring out any that against the president who is Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, then you might find yourself in a difficult situation because the police and the military have turned into, political. They have turned into political reporting as a threat. And of course, the presidential elections are scheduled to happen next year, 2021. But we were talking about even Bobby Wine himself, not just the journalists, but even the opposition leaders, the opponents, also facing the rally. You remember sometimes when Bobby Wine was arrested a couple of times, the funny thing is that he also managed to escape, and I what I was wondering, how did Bobby Wine actually manage to escape? That was the thing I was asking myself. But nonetheless, we shall be looking and looking into this particular story and seeing what happens as people get closer to the elections, as people get closer to the elections in Uganda. For one, the democratic space in Uganda, we cannot talk about democracy really in Uganda because this president has been there since forever, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of changes happening. I think the same thing. You might be talking about change. You might be talking about, people having a new political dispensation, but with the leadership that Kaguta Museveni has had, people really have not seen change. If you were born in the year, for example, he was born in I think he came into power in 1988, and if you were born in 1988, you are actually 32 years old. You have known the same president since you was a kid, and also you, of course, have gone ahead to marry and have your own family, and also your kids know the same president. That it's crazy. And this is also the same kind of a situation even in Ivory Coast, even not in Ivory Coast, but in Equatorial Guinea as well as Cameroon. In Cameroon, you have the president, Mr. Paul Biya, and Mr. Paul Biya has been there for over 35 years, and it actually doesn't really not so good because there hasn't been any change, and they have tried to defend their political seats and their positions at all costs. We heard about even Burkina Faso, the discovery of some bodies of people that had been killed, and I believe those might have been an extrajudicial killing. But then again, these outbursts that have been used against the journalists, and I remember sometimes we were almost getting a new correspondent from Uganda. Her name was Maria. And Maria Viena also, as let me not call her, let me Maria Viena not loud, but Maria being outspoken as she is, then perhaps she would have found herself also in Kagame's, not Kagame,
Museveni.
Museveni, Kabuta Museveni's, maybe cell or something like that. But nonetheless, that is the democratic space for you. I don't know if the lady Maria is still practicing journalism, and if she is, I haven't seen her work for her. Because she was on social media, she was very, very vocal and also outspoken. But nonetheless, we shall be telling you more about different other updates coming from the continent right after this particular session where we jump to some wonderful music. This is Daddy O by Whiskey. Oh, yeah. She never ever told me. Nobody did. She did like the one dress. She did give me that dance. Valentina, she the way. She called me mom, I said, everything I want to do. She tell me everything she gonna see me on. Bad boy, busy. Star boy, busy boy, I think I got it. You might get next, and I swear she the dress. Valentina, she the way. Gucci really dress. I know they like the dress. Baby, come on, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance. Come on, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance. Baby, come on, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance. Come on, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance. One, two, one, two. I like the way you dance. Make me dance. One, two. I like the way you dance. I like the way you dance. One, two. I like the way you dance. I like the way you dance. I'm beautiful. Looking at you, I'm feeling baby girl. Give me one show. I wanna go. Dance with me, dance. Wanna go dance. Don't be it. Do what you say. Don't come here. Open my door. Dance with me, dance. Oh yeah, never. Wind up close. Welcome back to the extra show right here on the Black Star Network. That was a little bit of some Nigerian taste of music, and of course, if you wondered what that was Sisi Maria, and that is by Skills, Imam Kwali so, and also another jam by Runtown. Of course, Runtown was he Ghanaian or Nigerian?
Runtown, it sounds more of Ghanaian.
He was Ghanaian then, I think, but he was big in Nigeria, and of course, he has been doing his music in Nigeria as well. I almost said Nigeria, like the brothers are from Nigeria do say. But he has been doing music in Nigeria and he's big in Nigeria just as we used to do another architect is Mr. Easy. Mr. Easy, I believe, is also Ghanaian, but he has been doing his music in Ghana. His music in Nigeria. I think Nigeria has a very, very big market when it comes to entertainment. And I see Kid is with us. He's asking what's happening in Vivo Camera. I've been trying to configure it. Even as we're speaking right now, I'm trying to configure it and I have some issues, but I do believe that we'll be able to reset the settings and I'll be able to get back with the use of the Mevo. But nonetheless, I just trust that everyone is doing fantastic this afternoon. It's 33 minutes past 3 p.m. in Nairobi. And of course, if you're just joining us, we are discussing entertainment matters. And today we shall be turning our focus to Nigeria. Nigeria is known to have some of the most talented actors and actresses, and not just because they do have wonderful, they don't have wonderful production, but also because these people, I think, it has also something to do with the population. The Tanzanians are very, very many people. The Nigerians are very, very many people, and therefore most of them do make sure that they're getting the full and they put themselves to the limits. And now, of course, I shall be letting us know some of the most popular Nigerian actors. And now, of course, these they do call their industry Nollywood. And they have been transitioning from just making movies for Nollywood, but also getting their film into Netflix. Yeah? If you remember, we were talking about, was it Braveheart or the Lionheart? The Lionheart. Yeah, that was the Lionheart. And of course, the Lionheart is one of the most popular movies. Of course, that has gotten to Netflix. And of course, when you're talking about some of the people that have acted in that particular one, is Genevieve. I think she was also the director or the executive producer, either of those, the executive producer in Nollywood. And at some point, we were hearing about Genevieve, and you remember the popular, it's called Coco Master, or the bands.
The bands, yeah.
Yes, in the bands, there were actually a couple of, there was the rumors are going around that the bands were dating with Genevieve. But before we get into the Nigerian industry, I just want to share with us some of the most beautiful and the most popular Nigerian actresses. In case you just want to check out and know some of the names that you can look out for when you're looking for Nigerian movies. We do have some of the best Nigerian actors and actresses. So some of the best Nigerian actresses that are very, very popular, as well as they are famous for their beauty.
Are known to be pretty and handsome. Nigerian movies industry, Hollywood, is rated as the second largest movie industry in the world. It has produced the hot, sexy actors who are popular celebrities and known for acting award-winning movies. So today on BTV, we'll be taking a look at 8 most beautiful Nollywood actors in Nigeria. If you are new to this channel, be sure to click on the red button below to subscribe for more videos coming up soon.
This is Genevieve who was talking about directing the movie Lionheart. This is Omotola. Mercy Johnson as well as that number 4. Mr. Dominic is also very, very popular if you're looking for a film to watch. And Adesua as well. Those are some of the most popular Nigerian women actresses, and they also famous for their beauty.
It's time.
The only problem is that
Is writing an email to his boss. Anyhow.
the only problem is that with these particular Nigerian actors and the actresses, they do don a lot of wigs. You know, I do not blame them, but if you look at their makeup is okay. But if you look at some of the wigs that these particular ladies are doing, you think, you know what, they do not really perhaps love themselves because it's crazy. You can see, for example, there was one with the pinko, and you know, sometimes you look at people's heads and you're wondering, what's popping. But nonetheless, those are some of the most famous Nigerian actresses. They have been famous for their beauty and, of course, their talent and their prowess when it comes to the acting and the film industry. And now, of course, moving on from that, we want to discuss about what are some of the challenges that have been faced by the Nigerian film, by the Nigerian in the Nigerian film industry. And of course, right now, as we do have the COVID-19, many people are not able to go and produce and or make movies. And one of the things that has caused it is because they are in the lockdown. You know, Abuja and Lagos is known to be one of the places where there is a lot of, they get their scenes. Most of the scenes are actually acted in Lagos and in Abuja. But do you remember a couple of months ago, there was a lockdown in Lagos as well as a lockdown in Abuja? And therefore, even if you're looking for a location, you know, to go shoot your movie, perhaps it would have also been very, very difficult. And of course, in some cases, we do have what we call, you know, in some cases you want the cast in some scenes, you want to have a lot of people in one particular place so that the scenes, you know, you might have having a theme that you want to put across. But you have a special gathering, and therefore you cannot bring all this, especially in the villages. You know, people want to dance in villages and be recorded in the films in the Nigerian films, but you cannot have all these people coming together because of the social distancing guidelines that have been given by the government, unless you want to be arrested by Buhari's policemen. And also the other issue is also people going into films. You know, the industry in Nigeria has also grown to a level where people also go to films and they go and watch maybe some of the new movies that are being premiered, and this is in the theater there. And this is in Lagos as well as you know, Abuja and other different cities in Nigeria. But right now, you cannot really get to sell the tickets for people to come and watch the premiere of a movie in the theaters in Lagos or in Abuja or whatever other different place that you might be wanting to premiere this particular film. And therefore, you find that this has put the actresses, the actors, the directors, the producers in a very, very difficult situation, simply because that is where they normally do get their bread. And right now, since you cannot do all those things, premiere your movies, you know, you have to wait. It becomes very, very difficult. But there is a way to salvage this whole situation. I don't believe if they did want to release some of the content that was produced, they might have as well used a digital platform, because perhaps people now are slowly getting to embrace, you know, using digital streaming platforms. And like you said, not only taking our movies to Netflix, we can also have our own African digital platforms for streaming movies. When we were in Rwanda, that is in November last year, we went to the expo and we saw some of the digital platforms that the Rwandese people are using when it comes to premiering and marketing their movies. I believe the Nigerians as well should also be big in this already, and not just waiting for their movies to be accepted into Netflix. Netflix has different requirements for movie, and perhaps the Nigerian industry wants to be more flexible. And so I believe one of the ways of salvaging this industry really would be to just start using digital media platforms. And also another thing that has been a major challenge is that you get to realize apart from our tickets, we also have events happening concerts. And Nigeria is also big when it comes to award events, award shows, and especially film and music award shows. There's so many of these award shows that are normally conducted, and you find people maybe buying tickets, wanting to go and crown the best actors, crown the best actresses, directors, and such. And you get to realize that we do have also other people that have been affected, not just the actors and actresses themselves. We do have the supporting team, and the supporting staff, the support staff. For example, people who do design costumes for these actors and actresses. And you know that Nigeria is big when it comes to fashion.
Yeah.
Nigeria is really, really big when it comes to fashion. And what they have been doing is really incorporating their fashion into their film industry. And therefore, you get to realize that even these fashion directors right now, as we speak, they have been affected gravely. And of course, there is the support that needs to be coming from even the government because the industry really is not does not operate in its own space alone. It also operates in terms of interaction with the government because of the regulations, because of maybe some of these projects are funded by the government, and therefore there should be a way to make sure that they are stabilizing the Nigerian entertainment industry, especially when it comes to film. I believe that is a way it should be. I don't know what your opinion is.
Yeah, talking about Nigerian, let me first of all comment on that video because I was really dying to comment on that video. I've seen some of these actresses before, film and actor film. As much as they say that when money starts flowing, then definitely your skin changes and so on. To some, they get to say that that is the effect of cocoa butter, but that is not how cocoa butter gets to work. The likes of Omotola, the likes of, what is her name? Okay, so I think she used to have that skin, but the likes of, exactly. But for Omotola and just can't recall her, Rita Dominic also, I get to see that majority of these Nigerian ladies, they get to employ the use of bleaching agents in their skin. And, also the acting industry has made it so because right now you see the likes of, Regina Daniels hitting it because she's of lighter complexion. We see now the likes of Omotola also having landing big agents because of bleaching and so on. So it has been made like it is the order of the day. You bleaching, you getting to employ wigs. Because on all those videos that on the video that you showed, I haven't seen one vixen, of course, embracing our African hair. I don't have anything with the type of fashion that one person wants to employ in themselves. Maybe to them it is fashion. Maybe that is how their moms show them that is the way of life and so on. But then again, there's this issue. Nigerian industry has been used by Netflix. That is a reason to get to employ that is vices that are affecting us as Africans. And let me just talk about this. It is not about hunger. Not that anytime you get to think about Africa, it's about hunger. It's about war and so on. Also, the issue of girls embracing their skills. We did have the likes of Lupita Nyong'o, coming about with this book. Was it called the Sule or something like that? Sulwe. Yeah, Lupita has a book called. She has a book titled Sule. It's all about the young black girls getting to embrace their skins as an early age. But
I hope you talked about melanin on the book. I don't know
she talked about all that. Well, you can definitely check that one out.
Yeah.
And some of these Nigerian actresses have been used to employ this scheme of us appreciating our own selves and so on. But you get to see that whatever it is that maybe their parents show them or how they found the society to be, that is still how they get employed. But as much as I want to talk about that, there are some certain Nigerian movies you can take a look at the themes. It is more traditional. You get to see how they wear wrappers, how they get to make amazing knots on their head and so on. But anyway, that is just what I'm saying. But talking on that is my comments on the topic of the day that is regarding the situation of COVID-19. It is believed that in the near future, close to 10 million people to 15 million people will be losing their job. They will be jobless. And Nigeria has been known, to be having different locations. Some movies have even been shot in Paris. Some movies have even been shot in Dubai. They're talking about exactly. Talking about because they want that. The more you get to spend your money that is on production, the more you get supposed to cash back in because people want something quality, people want something unique. But on the situation in Nigeria, I got to see that Nigerians have not been banned, to do any business in Dubai. I don't know if also active in business.
Have they been stealing people's property?
Exactly, they have been. It is alleged that that is due to the arrest of Hash Papi and so on. Also in South Africa, they got to see that Nigerians have been linked. Of course, not all Nigerians, because we also do have good Nigerians and so on. Exactly, decent Nigerians, and this is highly affecting them, because you get to see that a job has been advertised somewhere, but then you get to see that there's one thing, of course, highlighted that except for Nigerians. No, that is disturbing to
How
get to
would
see that.
that discrimination against Nigerians?
Exactly, that is
How
why
do
it
you
has
put
been
a
written. You
job?
get to see that except for Nigerians because of some of the things that some of Nigerians have been doing. For example, in South Africa, they were saying that some of these, the one Nigerians who had captured almost 16 girls, that is to sell them into the sex trade. They are the ones, of course, selling marijuana on the streets and so on, illegal businesses, brothels, and this is really affecting even the decent. For example, those who want to shoot their movies, for example, in Dubai, because Dubai has also been known to have adult places, amazing features you can get to enjoy in your movies. So that is also one thing that has affected that is the Nigerian entertainment industry. And then to see that due to the vices of some other Nigerians, it has highly affected it. And also this issue of a social distancing and so on. You get to see that not everyone wants to be involved into all this because they are cautious of their health and so on. And also the issue with the police officers. As much as even some, because you can't stay at home without putting food on the table, you have to go out there on the street. You get to see that some of the corrupt officers, they want to demand a lot of money maybe from producers and so on. That is, you can't be feeding every police officer. For example, you feed this certain team, the next day they lure other people to go, because police officers, they get to communicate amongst themselves as a way of luring money maybe from a club, from an event and so on. So you get to see that on a daily basis, as much as you're shooting your movie, you have to set aside some certain budget that is to pay the police officers. And as a result, many producers will be like, let this thing just, subside for now because you can't be, giving out money to the police and you're not receiving as much return as possible. Also, the issue of getting to
Is that bribe? Are you talking about
that is
bribe?
a bribe. That is bribe.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, even here in Kenya, you could see that most of the time, whenever you're shooting something, there'll be that one police officer. Hey, what are you doing? Then they start coming up with their laws because most of the Kenyans they really don't, dig into the laws that the government exactly. They don't. They like join in buyer here fight so you end up giving them money because you don't want to go to the station and so on. So I believe that is the same situation in Nigeria. Get to see that whenever you are crowded in a place, they're like, you need to give us money. It's against the government rule to do this and this. You get to see that you're braving a lot of police officers. As a result, you're like, let me just go home and just do something else. And also in movie theaters, we've had, ticket selling. For example, here in Kenya, we've had also ticket selling. We get to see, is it Alliance?
Alliance Française.
Oh, that's them. I call it Alliance. Okay, Alliance France.
Yeah, Français.
It's like a Carrefour in Kapoor, that. So you get to see that most of the time the actors and actresses will come about, sell the tickets, raising from even $10 and above, some even $80 and to name and so on. So you get to see the more the people they get to name, the more the awareness of the movie is set. Because you can't use social media alone. You can't be like exactly. You have to be on the ground also. So you get to see that in Nigeria they don't have as much as they have people on the ground. They don't have it now. The audience is not going to watch what they're showcasing to them. And the moment you get to walk into a movie theater and you see that this part of course made me laugh, or this part really touched my heart, to go out there, spreading the word and so on. So you get to see that there isn't much awareness right now because of not most theaters are open, or even if they're open, nobody wants to waste their money and go out there. They'll be like, right now we can do Netflix and chill and so on at home instead of just
go to the movie.
exactly.
He's saying that despite people are starving in Nigeria, nobody cared about a goofy movie location. And that is, of course, the Nigerians are starving, but we also do have to look at the culture. The culture has been preserved through film, and that is what the Nigerians are doing. But nonetheless, what I do believe is that we also do have the culture being distorted by the same actors and actresses. Right now, we're hearing about the LGBTQ movement, and of course, some of the actors in the Nigerian film industry have been involved in terms of trying to distort or corrupt the minds of the audiences. Nonetheless, we shall be done with a little bit of music, and then we shall get back, and we shall be ready, how this particular industry can be salvaged. Of course, because it has been creating a lot of employment. The next jump is actually by the one and only whiskey. and this is done by Whiskey. Of course, it also features it's called Maya.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, yeah.
Another banger.
Follow me. I get to hit you with 7 people, my lord. And I go fight for your love, girl. I'll be your download. Yeah, fine girl, come give me that thing, go at this store. Why you little bitch? Why you want to? Baby, give me one. I got a big Chinese girl. I think I'm a foot. Give me love, I
Hey, hi, right here on the Black Contract Network Expression. We want to thank everyone that is joining us. And of course, we would love to know how your afternoon is coming up or your morning rather. It's actually 6 minutes to 4 p.m. right here in Nairobi. And of course, we hope that you are doing fantastic and keeping safe. And we were jamming some of the music right there by the one and only Whiskey. We also did have another jam by One Nicole and LAX. And that particular one was called Run Away. You can still hear it playing. Hey, the vibe right there. That is the song Africa by the one and only Yemi Alade. If you're looking for some interesting music to listen to, you can simply head over to, of course, the network. And that is a Black Star Network. And look for Yemi Alade also on our playlist. Remember, you can download the Black Star Network radio app. We also do have, you can check us out on the website, which is www.black.network.com. Even right now, we are streaming on the radio for the family that is tuned on the radio. We want to appreciate you and, of course, tell you thank you so much for keeping supporting the Black Network. And of course, we are almost winding up the show for today. But before then, we were talking about some of the remedies on how we can actually salvage the industry, the instrument industry, not just in Nigeria, but even in Africa at large. And one of the ways is really also to make sure that perhaps we have gone digital. People do not want to buy physical CDs anymore, for your music or the DVDs. People who want to perhaps, find it digital so that they can enjoy it in the comfort of their homes. And of course, more participation and more involvement, of course, for with different stakeholders. That is one of the ways in which perhaps people can, try and reduce the effects or the shocks in the entertainment industry from the disruption by the coronavirus. And of course, there is also the issue of having people, taking the opportunity to also use, I believe, social media. Social media is also another different way in which you can get people still engaged. For example, we have been seeing artists doing live shows, but even I think the artists might as well get on social media and get to interact with some of the audiences as we get to wait for these particular matters to be resolved with the coronavirus. And also, I believe also maybe some perhaps other different ideas. We would love to hear from you, perhaps other different ideas in which you can salvage or some of the remedies to minimize the shock over the COVID-19 on the entertainment industry in Africa, specifically so on the arts and film industry. That is what has been our focus for today. And of course, right here on the expression, we also about solutions, not just about the problems. What do you think?
Talking about that, let me just comment on this. We do have an issue with the copyright issues. In that, we do have a lot of, nowadays you can get access to any of these, maybe movies for free, that is maybe in a black market and so on. And they end up, getting to sell it to people at a cheaper price at some point, or at some point, exactly. Or at some point they get, to put it on your phone and so on. So you're free to watch that movie, but, you haven't followed the copyright issues. And the same result you get is that a lot of these actors don't even get enough pay, enough pay for to put food on the table. So you do have an issue with copyright issues. Back then, for you to acquire a CD, it was hectic because, internet wasn't that free to everyone. But right now, the moment you do get access to internet, you can get to download some of these, hard worked, movies on different channels, and as a result, you download them for free. You won't even get to incur that is the losses and so on. But this is highly affecting that is the life of these actors. This is, the well-being of this, not the life, the well-being of these actors and actresses. That is one thing. Also, you do have an issue with that. I think it goes hand in hand with vandalism because you're stealing someone's work and getting, to employ it maybe to yourself and so on. Also, the issue with vandalism goes hand in hand with the issue of, or even the stealing of the things and so on. You get that to see that maybe you have an idea for the movie and so on. You've even gone ahead and maybe given the producer some of these some of the views, but they don't go ahead and acknowledge your work. They go ahead and of course publish that work in their own name. Is that the same as vandalism?
Vandalism, no, that is plagiarism.
Plagiarism, exactly. Not plagiarism. That is what I was looking for. So there is an issue with plagiarism on most works out here. You don't receive credit for your work just because you're not a renowned producer, and this producer goes ahead and keeps the cash at home. Also, there is an issue with biasness. You get to see that, for example, I can't be given a role and Regina Daniels is left. She'll definitely be picked because she's more popular. She has the numbers on Instagram and other exactly. So I have to be left behind, and you get to see that maybe I'm given roles like a person who's just walking by in the movie roles like those stuff, the extras exactly. So left like an extra. How much can you basically cash off? It's peanuts. So that is also an issue that I'm seeing it here. They have to create equality, but equality can't happen anytime. Starting from the government itself and so on. So I think it's something we need to deal with. But then again, that needs to be looked at because I believe the more you keep giving these actors the role, we still do have new talent, we still do have new shining talent. just like in the music industry. You know, the music industry, you can't like, as much as you can give a celebrity maybe someone's song and so on, this other person, at some day, it will just reach a day when they'll get to outdo that person because talent is real. You can't just, mess up with talent from time to time. Because at some point, they say that the truth reveals itself at the end of the day.
I do believe with you that there's a lot of bias when it comes to industry, and of course, we shall be talking about this and more matters, of course, on the Black Horse Network, and of course, that was today was just a conversation, trying to find out some of the solutions we can, or some of the remedies that we can give towards the entertainment industry. I just want to thank everyone. It's exactly 2 minutes past 4 p.m. I want to thank everyone that has joined us on the show for today, and of course, we shall jam a little bit more to some music right here. And of course, this particular jam is called Girls Next Door. I just want to say much peace and love to everyone that has taken a time to join us, and of course, for your wonderful feedback. Remember, you can always interact with us even on our different social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, wherever you are. Much welcome. And of course, on the website as well. We hope to see you on the website. It's simple to create a profile, and you shall be able to interact with us. That has been it for the exposure right here on the Black Box Channel. Remember to check us out on the other different subsequent episodes of the expression every Monday to Friday on the Black Box Planet, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, we also, what we get to wake you up if you are in the other, of course, spectrum of time. Once again, peace and love. Till next time.
Quaneri.
Hey, baby, nimefika tu kupretend. I know I'm jumping in the deep end. What you doing on the weekend? Hey, baby, I know my you really gonna be there. I want to turn up to the different. I love you when you get into my deep end. Nikelele za madala ndioni na magamba na kichwani umejaza mawazo. Niko tayari kusema na kusema na kutenda ila tu wewe unipe mkono. Baby, let's roll up. Wanna have a conversation, maybe roll up. Take you somewhere high and give you more life. I'll be really, really feeling your flavor, son. Girl, I'll give you everything you need and more. I can see you like to keep it on the low. I know you wanna get a taste of my flavor, son.